This is one I've been patiently waiting to arrive, especially after the anime's conclusion. That is one of the strongest scouts in the Survey Corps, Mikasa Ackerman, from the anime Attack on Titan season finale made by LC Studio. The box is bigger than I expected, and I like the font the studio used for Mikasa's name. Attack on Titan is one of my favorite animes of all time, and I knew I had to get a statue from this show eventually, especially after the anime ended, which I loved by the way. I was a manga reader, and I think the anime did an amazing job of adapting it. The first thing I see upon removing the box is a metal coin, with Mikasa's face on one side and her name on the other side, with the studio's logo. I had pre-ordered this back like in March of 2023. It's always satisfying when a statue I've been waiting for so long to finally be within reach. The first piece to see is the body of Eren's Attack Titan. Love the sculpting, and the small spatters of blood on it is a nice touch. Then we got the head of the Attack Titan, which also turned out amazing. That's pretty much it for Eren's Titan form. Now onto the main pieces, starting with Mikasa wielding the Thunder Spear, one of my favorite weapons introduced in the second half of Season 3, if I'm not mistaken. And now for the main body itself, which has Mikasa wearing the standard Survey Corps uniform, along with the 3D maneuvering gear, or the ODM gear. I really like the details given to the body, and as you can see, the studio also made Mikasa a bit more curvy and voluptuous, but I can't complain. Then we got the head, which isn't the most impressive in my opinion, but it still looks good, especially since Mikasa is very stoic most of the time. Now for the next set of pieces. Starting with the cape of the Survey Corps, which I don't think Mikasa wears after the time skip, but it's a cool reference to her past uniform. And here's Mikasa's other hand, holding the blade used to kill Titans. I noticed the strings, and I knew I would have some trouble connecting it to the other pieces, which I did. Now here comes some unfortunate discovery. This piece came in broken, and it's where the string is supposed to be placed in. I'll show my attempt to fix the broken piece later. I was determining on how I should go about fixing it during the time I was assembling the statue. And here's the third piece of the ODM gear. And of course, you can't have a Mikasa statue without the scarf. That's something I didn't really expect, but these chains will be placed on the base. I had to double check the pictures online because I didn't even notice this detail. And speaking of the base, here it is. I really liked how it turned out, and it's one of the reasons I chose to buy the statue. Don't know if the goat outlines are a reference to something, but I loved how it's sculpted, and the blocks on the top are probably from the destroyed buildings from the numerous battles, or from the rumbling itself. Also, I like that it has a Survey Corps logo on it. The first piece that had to go in is the Attack Titan's body, because one of Mikasa's foot will be connected to the back. Then the cape itself, since it won't get in the way of anything. And now for the main body, which I like how the statue is supported by both legs. One goes on the ground and the other is placed on the Attack Titan's back. I think this looks absolutely stunning so far. Then we got the head, as it's connected with the magnet. Now for the hand wielding the blade. And for the arm holding the thunder spear. And before putting in the headpiece, gotta put the scarf on the neck, which really looks good. And now to put in the chains. And I don't know if the chains needed to be placed in the specific locations, but I randomly put in the chains. I don't think it really matters. Here goes the first piece of the ODM gear. This is the one that wasn't broken, and it goes on the hip. Now here's the broken pieces again. I did initially plan just to leave it out, since the pieces are too small and would be difficult to fix, but the statue looked too incomplete to me, and I decided to use super glue, which was a little difficult since the pieces are small. It managed to stay together, though it could easily come apart if I used some force, but I managed to successfully put it in place without breaking it again. Now, dealing with the strings was really annoying. Had to figure out where they were supposed to go, but it was worth the effort because it looks amazing once it's all connected. The statue from the base to the top of the head is roughly 16 inches in height. And to the top of the thunder spear is roughly 18 inches in height. Now for the completed assembled statue, which I'm glad the broken pieces managed to stay in place because it looks better with the ODM gear connected. The statue is quite expensive, costing me 335 USD, and that was with a discount included, by the way, but at least the shipping was $55, which is pretty standard for resin statues for me. Though my only complaint for the statue are the chains connected to the base, mostly because I keep forgetting they're there, and whenever I try to move the statue, I would keep knocking off some chains. But other than that, I think the statue looks gorgeous despite all the blood imagery, yet it adds to the look for an Attack on Titan statue. And the only other nitpick I had was the face expression, but it looks much better once everything is connected. This statue did have two versions. This is the standard one, while the second had Mikasa with longer hair similar to earlier seasons, and it had her carrying Eren's severed head. And while I do like Mikasa with the longer hair, I prefer the short haired because that's more accurate to the story, and I found Mikasa carrying Eren's head a bit too much for me as a statue. Looks great though. I think LC Studio did an amazing job and it was worth the purchase. The Attack Titan looks menacing and is a nice addition for a Mikasa statue. The details done for the ODM gear is probably my favorite part of the statue, and Mikasa looks amazing herself. It is a little sad Attack on Titan is over. I watched as season 1 aired and waited until season 2 ended before I jumped to the manga, and it's been an amazing ride since. I know a lot of people had problems with the ending when the manga was done, but I didn't really mind it and I thought it completed nicely. However, I think the anime improved upon some scenes and it made me love the ending all the more. Now, Mikasa isn't my favorite character in the series, but I did want her as a statue because she is amazing in appearance and as a fighter. My favorite character would probably be Armin, mostly because of his role in the Battle of Trost, and then his moments in the finale, leading everyone against Eren. His talk with Zeke in the past was nice, and I enjoyed his final talk with Eren as well. My top 5 in no particular order would probably be Levi, Erwin, Mikasa, and possibly Jean. Some honorable mentions would include probably Historia and Reiner. And here's a quick comparison to the Mikasa figure I bought a while back, made by Kotobukiya. Feels complete to have Mikasa with both her designs, pre and post time skip. So this video is a little longer than normal. I usually try to keep these below 10 minutes, but that's fine since it's a Mikasa statue. Hope you enjoyed the vid, and I'm glad this turned out great. You never know how a figure will actually turn out until it's arrived, because its stock pictures can sometimes make the statues better than they are. But I think everything I've bought turned out great so far. And that'll be it for this one. See ya.